first European race of the season takes place in the heart of motor racing country. Imola is the venue for the San Marino Grand Prix. The circuit is packed with enthusiastic spectators, the majority here supporting one team and one man, Ferrari and Michael Schumacher. The double world champion lines up third, but is close to the McLarens, only 0.2 of a second shy of pole. David Coulthard starts on the front row next to his teammate Mika Hakkinen, who takes his third consecutive pole of the year. Hopes run high as the field prepare to leave the starting grid. And they're off. A good start by the McLarens, and Ralf Schumacher's flying too. But another awful race for Villeneuve and BAR. Hakkinen and Coulthard side by side on the approach to Tamburello, and Mika holds on to the lead. That's truly the Prost driver out of his home Grand Prix. Behind the McLarens, Schumacher's third, Irvine's fourth, Barrichello's fifth, and Frenzen's sixth. There's a spinner. It's Pedro de la Rosa and Alexander Wurz. Both drivers are out. Back at the front, Hakkinen, with a light fuel load, is steadily increasing his lead over DC. Fisichella leads the battle for 13th, and that's Panis losing the back of his Prost. A neat little recovery, but he's down to 16th. Over 12 seconds in front now, and Hakkinen's lost it. Into the barrier. Absolutely incredible. Ron Dennis can't believe it. An unforced error, losing the Finn an almost certain 10 points. Coulthard is the new race leader, but he's got competition in the form of Michael Schumacher, who's only a few seconds behind and piling on the pressure. In car and in the pits with the Ferrari ace, a crucial stop for the Italian team. Gianalesi's off, but keeps the Sauber going, managing to get back on track. Race leader David Coulthard's in. It looks like a one-stopper for the Scotsman on a different strategy to Schumacher. And there's Michael now, moving into the lead, pushing DC down to second. That's Diniz having problems handling his Sauber as Schumacher carves his way through the traffic. A Ferrari leads in Italy, and the Tifosi go wild. Michael Schumacher, now with a substantial lead, is flying and pits in for the second time. Only 22 laps remaining as the crew fit fresh rubber and refuel. 6 seconds dead. A blinding stop for the Ferrari ace, and he exits the pits in front of Coulthard and retains the lead. A blow for the McLaren driver, but a boost for Ferrari. But it's a little early for celebrations. Irvine's engine has blown his chances of a podium finish. Not a good omen for the leader. And that's Frenzen finish for the day too, caught out on the Ulsterman's oil. Those retirements benefiting the Stewart team, with Barrichello moving up to third place, albeit a lap behind the leader. The final corner, and Michael Schumacher crosses the line to take his first win of the season, with Coulthard in second place. A home win for the Italian team, while Rubens Barrichello makes it onto the podium. This is Ferrari's first win at Imola since 1983.
I'd say this weekend, if it was a team victory. I mean, we knew we were lacking performance the first two races, but we knew as well the championship can't go that way if we want to win it, and so we had to turn it around, and this weekend, I guess, to some extent we turned it around. We did it.
With that victory, Michael Schumacher and Ferrari now lead both drivers' and constructors' championships. Damon Hill's first finish of the year also nets the Englishman his first points for fourth, Fisichella's fifth and Alesi's sixth.
I feel a need for speed. I didn't get this feeling since '97, where I could go out in qualifying and just push the car and just keep on pushing and pushing. That's the first time this season.
Villeneuve's optimism was short-lived. It ended on the grid.
Well, nothing happened. It just wasn't going anywhere. There was no drive.
After the pre-season promise, this was the first race the BAR looked competitive.
We've been quick, but that's what we were expecting. Since the beginning of the season, we just had it a little bit late, and to finally be qualified fifth and have good chances in the race, it's very frustrating to not even take the start. We wanted to finish a race to see if the car could last, so that's not positive at all.
I don't think anyone who watched the race can doubt that Nicholas dominating the race, made a rare mistake.
That rare mistake happened on lap 17 when Hakkinen had a considerable lead.
It was weird. I mean, it happened very fast. Coming off the curb, the rear tires dropped back in the tarmac and he spun the car around. Looks like it was my mistake. I couldn't handle it.
He wasn't the only McLaren driver having problems.
I had the performance to win today. Lost a lot of time in the traffic.
and that was the difference between coming out behind Michael and in front of him.
Coulthard believed that back markers wrapped up in their own battle cost him victory.
There's a rule that quite clearly states that you move over within 3 marshals' posts of seeing a blue flag.
The Scotsman lost over 10 seconds.
You know, how many laps did I spend stuck behind the Benetton and the Prost? And when I did pass the Prost and got behind the Benetton, I lost downforce and ran wide, and then the Prost passed me again.
Fisichella and Panis went unpunished.
If you're a lap down, I think you have to accept, maybe a loss of half a second or so to let the leaders through. You know, they may be leading a Grand Prix one day and the shoes in the other.